In a big relief for home, car and personal loan consumers, the Reserve Bank of India on Friday announced a more than expected 50 basis points or 0.5% rate cut. This is the third consecutive reduction in policy rates. In addition, the central bank has also unexpectedly reduced the cash reserve ratio by 100 basis points or 1%, which will bring additional liquidity in the banking system and will allow banks to venture more loans.
A detailed assessment of the evolving macroeconomic and financial developments and the economic outlook ahead, the MPC decided to reduce, which is widely expected, the policy repo rate under the liquidity adjustment facility by 50 basis points to 5.5%. I repeat, the reduction recommended by the MPC is for 50 basis points to 5.5%. This is with immediate effect.
The RBI 6-member Monetary Policy Committee, headed by Governor Sanjay Malhotra and consisting 3 external members, voted 5-1 to lower the benchmark repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which the RBI lends money to banks to meet their short-term funding needs. The RBI in the monetary policy announced on Friday also cut the cash reserve ratio by 100 basis points to 3%, adding 2.5 lakh crore rupees for surplus liquidity in the banking system.
To further provide durable liquidity, it has now been decided to reduce the cash reserve ratio, the CRR, by 100 basis points. I repeat, we have decided to reduce the cash reserve ratio by 100 basis points from 4% to 3% of net demand and time liabilities. This will be done in a staggered manner during the course of the year in 4 equal tranches of 25 basis points each, coming into effect from the fortnights beginning September 6, October 4, November 1 and November 29 of this year, which is 2025. The cut in CRR would release primary liquidity of about 2.5 lakh crore rupees.
With the latest reduction, RBI has now cut interest rates by a total of 100 basis points in 2025, starting with a quarter-point reduction in February, the first cut since May 2020, and another similar-sized cut in April.
रिजर्व बैंक गवर्नर ने रेपो रेट में 50 बेसिस पॉइंट की कमी की है, जो कि एक बहुत बड़ी राहत है उन लोगों को जो बैंक से लोन लेना चाहते हैं या जिन लोगों ने ले रखा है, यानी उनकी ईएमआई में बहुत ज़्यादा कमी होगी। इससे ग्राहकों को बहुत लाभ होगा। अगर आप कोई ग्राहक उसका हाउसिंग लोन 50 लाख का 20 साल के लिए है, तो लगभग उसकी ईएमआई में 1500-1550 रुपए की कमी आएगी। ये जो कमी होगी, ये जो एक्स्ट्रा पैसा ग्राहकों की जेब में आएगा, रिजर्व बैंक का कहना है कि उससे कंजम्पशन में फायदा होगा।
Experts say the rate cut will put more money in the market and in turn more credit in the hands of people, boosting consumption.
For the normal consumer, for the person that's borrowing, especially things like home loans, they are linked. The interest rates start coming down quite quickly. Often, however, what does happen is that instead of reducing the EMI, the number of installments ends up being adjusted. So even when the rates are being increased, we find that in some cases the adjustment is happening through an elongation of the tenor, and when rate cuts are coming down, often we find it's being adjusted through a reduction in the tenor. So this is something that the people who have taken home loans may want to check up on. But for fresh loans, certainly they will be contracted at a lower rate. Also for corporates who will be going in for loans for business purposes, this would be a positive point. It would be a benefit to them in case they're going in for loans for capacity expansion, for instance.
Direct benefit that consumers have in terms of a rate cut is in terms of the credit availability. We had seen a lag in transmission rates over last month. The liquidity in the market was also tight earlier this year, slowly eased, so provided better liquidity in the market. The overnight rates were much higher than the repo rate, which is now coming off. So this repo rate cut and the CRR cut, which is essentially the quantity of money supply, puts in more money into the market, which in turn will enable consumers to get credit easy.
The RBI at the same time changed its monetary policy stance to neutral from accommodative, with RBI Governor Malhotra saying further action will depend on incoming data. The central bank has lowered its inflation projection to 3.7% for 2025-26 from the earlier projection of 4%. The RBI monetary policy decision will not only help the home, car and personal loan consumers, but will also provide a much-needed support to economic growth amid global uncertainties raised due to US tariff actions.